Hi there. In this video I'm going to show you how to express a quadratic in completed square form. Okay, first of all, if you have an expression like x plus a and you square it, you get x squared plus 2ax plus a squared. So this is very similar to the x squared plus 8x plus 5 that we have. And you'll notice that the coefficient of x in this part here, if we divided that by 2 we would get a, and then we square it and we will get this constant bit at the end. So to get this constant bit at the end, we just divide our coefficient of x by 2 and then we square it. And that will give us something of this form. So let's do that with our other expression, x squared plus 8x plus 5. So we will get x squared plus 8x, and our a squared bit we will get by taking the coefficient of x, which is 8, dividing by 2, which gives us 4, and squaring it, which gives us plus 16. Now wait a minute, we had plus 5 and we've now got plus 16, so if we write minus 11 afterwards, we will have these two the same as each other. Okay, and now what we can do is we can rewrite this bit that I've underlined as x plus 4 all squared. So this becomes x plus 4 all squared minus 11. And all we do now is, if we want to find the roots, well, to find the roots, you're looking for where the expression is equal to 0. So we just make it equal to 0. And we solve for x. And the best way to do that is to take the 11 to the right hand side, so that we can now get the square root of both sides. So now it's very easy. The square root of the left is just x plus 4. And the square root of the right is just square root of 11. And we just subtract 4 from both sides. So minus 4. And this will be plus or minus 11, square root of 11. And we have our two roots. X is minus 4 plus square root of 11. Okay, so minus 4 plus square root of 11, that's one root. And that's equal to minus 0.68. And the other root is minus 4 minus square root of 11. And that's equal to minus 7.32. So these are the two roots of our quadratic expression. This is where they cross the x-axis. I know that because they're both real. And now to sketch the function. Well, luckily, in the completing the square format, there's two other pieces of information that we can glean. First of all, I'll write out a general expression in completing the square form. Y equal to a times x minus h to be squared plus k. A simply tells us the shape of the quadratic. If a is bigger than 0, then it looks like a smile. And if a is less than 0, then it looks like a frown. The h and k, on the other hand, are really revealing. The line x equal to h is what we call an axis of symmetry. So the quadratic is symmetrical about this axis, and it's a vertical line because x equal to h is parallel to the y-axis. And then the 2 points h, k tells us the vertex. This is the lowest or highest point of the quadratic. So armed with all of that information, we can now draw this function, which we have x plus 4 to be squared equal to 11. So we can sketch this. Let's sketch it. And okay, so what have we got? The h is minus 4. So h is equal to minus 4 in this case. And what else do we know? H is minus 4. And the k, sorry, I should move up to here. K is minus 11. So our vertex is minus 4, comma, minus 11. What is my axis of symmetry? Is the line x equal to h, and h is minus 4, so x equal to minus 4 is my axis of symmetry. And what's a? A is simply 1, the coefficient of 1 you could put in there if you wanted. Okay, so the shape of it is like a smile. Okay, so we have minus 4 and minus 11, and we have our roots. Maybe we'll put my y-axis here. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8. Let's put in my roots. So minus 0.68 is here. Minus 1, minus 2. And my other root is minus 7.32, so that's here. Now my axis of symmetry is minus 4, so that's along here. And I had to go down as far as minus 11. So I need to continue my y-axis down to minus 11. So this point here will be the vertex of the quadratic. And I can now sketch it. But there's actually one more point that I know. If I go to my original format of the function, it was x squared plus 8x plus 5. You see here. And this number here, which I've circled in yellow, is the Y-intercept. That's the Y-intercept. So let's sketch that now. Y equal to 5 is up here. It's my Y-intercept. So try and do a nice curve here. And back up. Now let's do one more example. This time we'll have a coefficient of x. So we'll try y equal to, let's say, 2x minus 12, 2x squared minus 12x plus 3. Now in this case we should divide across by 2 first of all. It'll make our life much easier. And now we can simply proceed as we did earlier. So x squared minus 6x, and we need to divide the coefficient of x by 2, so that's minus 6 times divided by 2 gives me minus 3. Square that and we get plus 9. And we have plus 3 over 2, so 9 take away 1.5 is 7.5, which is 15 over 2. So if we take away 15 over 2, from 9 we get 3 over 2. Now we can rewrite our completed the square bit, which I'll underline here, as x minus 3 to be squared. It's a minus this time. And then we also have minus 15 over 2. And let's multiply the 2 in, and we get 2 times x minus 3 to be squared minus 15. And I won't sketch it this time because we don't have much time left, but we'll see that the a is 2. So that just means that it's this shape. H is 3. So x equal to 3 is my axis of symmetry. And k is minus 15, so we have 3 comma minus 15 is my vertex. And just before we finish, I'll just find the roots. So we need to make all that equal to 0. the best way to find the roots actually is from this bit here where we've got the whole thing multiplied by 2. Because if we divide across by 2 on both sides, then it'll be much quicker to do so. Like so. We can simply divide both sides by 2. 0 divided by 2 is still 0. And then we get x minus 3 to be squared minus 15 over 2 is still equal to 0. Add 15 over 2 to both sides. And now get the square root. And the next step is just to add 3 to both sides. So we have 3 plus or minus the square root of 15 over 2 is equal to x. So these are the roots. We've also found the axis of symmetry. And we found the vertex. And armed with all of that information, we should be able to sketch that graph very easily. So why don't you try doing that sketch yourself? And if you can, use this Y-intercept as well. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that it's helped. Maybe you'll join us for the next one.